Good morning. How are you today? I'm so happy to be here with you. Excited to share some really fun training today. It's been coming up a lot lately how people stay in a state of confusion. And so we're going to be kicking off 5 weeks of 5 C's to really move us into being our absolute best in how we engage in our businesses. And so for this first one, we're going to be talking about the C of clarity. And how often do you find yourself in that place where you think, I just wish I knew what to do and then I could do it? But instead, what you do is you run around in your mind with all sorts of questions, all sorts of what ifs and running scenarios and just churning thought after thought after thought and never really grabbing one, keeping it, and moving forward. It's very easy to do and very common to do. And so that's why I thought today it might be really good to talk about moving from confusion to clarity and what it requires to do so. And so when I think about that, and what I have seen and found over time is that really everything that you need to make your business really work and be successful with ease starts with you. That's right. It starts with me in my business. And so, how we lead ourselves in doing all the daily to dos, all of the daily tasks, all of the complexities that are part of being a product selling business, it's very easy to get caught in the weeds and just spin and spin and spin on what to do and be fearful about how to move forward. So today I'm really hoping that the training is going to help you do that. And so we'll just jump right in here in a moment. And if you're watching this live or you're watching it by the recording, please feel free to make comments. I love it when you make comments. Throw questions in there, even if it is while you're watching the recording. I'll read those questions and I'll answer them for you. I would really love these lives to be interactive, and so hoping some people will come on today, but if not, I'm still very committed to give you this training. So, it's finally a great, beautiful day here in Texas. We're going to be in the 70s for the first time in a while, and it's so nice because I am quite tired of cold. I don't do cold well. I live in Texas for a reason. I don't know how you northerners, how you take it, do it. I guess it's just you get used to what you get used to. But anyway, very, very glad for the warm day today. All right, well, let's get going on the training. So whenever we think about our decision making, which is really what we need in order to move forward with clarity, is we have to make a decision. So how do we get clear so that we can make the decision? I found it's really compiled from three things, three actions that you can do that will help you gain clarity. And so the first one is problem solving. Because here's the thing, usually whenever we can't get clarity, it is because there is a problem and we're really uncertain how to solve it. And so therefore we just keep spinning. What happens in that situation is if you don't have your problem solving skills really honed, what I see is that you probably jump into solutions, and sometimes those solutions are not good. And so then it becomes a self-fulfilling thing because then you don't trust your judgment. Sometimes it's just you do trust your judgment and you fly by the seat of your pants. You just choose anything and everything just to get going on it. And that's not going to work too well either. And so in general, the structure that you have for dealing with a problem is really not very well defined, or it isn't really a strategy. So whenever you are able to move into more effective problem solving, what I have seen is that you gather your information first, you weigh the pros and cons, and you really look at identify how the problem needs to be broken down to be solved. And in using that kind of systematic approach, guess what? The problem is solved more quickly and easily and effectively. So that's skill number one, problem solving. You've got to be really intentional about how you solve problems in order to get the clarity that you need in situations where you feel stuck. The second one is reality testing. And I love this one a lot because, believe it or not, we live in la la land. We make up stories all day long about what is causing a situation, what's happening in it, what people are thinking, how people are reacting. We make misinterpretations. And so, really testing the reality on our thoughts makes a huge difference because when we don't, we tend to just tune out um, and possibly have some pretty unrealistic expectations or unrealistic interpretations of what's going on in the situation. And because of that, we tend to get disconnected. And once we're disconnected and just totally stuck in our own head, guess what? Nothing happens. You really just stay shut down. But whenever you lean into reality and you look at the facts of the situation versus the fiction that your brain is making up, it changes everything because then you really get tuned to what is real, not what is made up. You get where you can assess a situation accurately and be able to know how to see the truth in it. So then the truth sets you free. It really does because you understand what's actually going on. Good morning. I'm glad to have you here, whoever joined. Hi. Good to see you, Lashana. I'm doing some training today on the 5 C's. This is the first one, clarity. We're going to have 5 weeks of C's, talking about clarity, consistency, confidence, and calm. And so today is clarity. And to do that, I was just explaining reality testing. And I know you and I have talked about this quite a bit. But reality testing also helps ground you. It helps you know exactly what is true and what isn't true so that those made up stories don't pull you off track or cause you to stay stuck. And then the third skill is impulse control. And, you know, when we think of impulse control, we think of just doing whatever we feel impulsive to do. But especially in emotionally charged situations, so like where you're feeling really strongly about something and or something is so heavy that it's really causing your emotions to be a little shaky. Um, Impulse control is very important to recognize because if you don't control your impulses, you can be explosive or unpredictable. Also, I see a lot of lack of anger control, so blurting out and getting angry, which does not help the situation at all. And in the long run, we usually walk away feeling worse, right? And then being easily frustrated or maybe aggressive in trying to force things to happen because there's just this lack of being able to look and evaluate with reality testing and with problem solving. So then the reactions become much stronger and then they don't really support you or the other people around you as you're working through them. So when you work to develop your impulse control and really see how you can manage that for yourself by doing some reality testing, doing the problem solving, you're able to move forward with a decision where you feel composed and where you feel in control of yourself and when you feel the ability to really resist and control those impulses and feel that control and feel how awesome it is to not let it just run away with you and keep you overthinking and worrying and unclear about what you're doing, all confused, like this state of chaos in your head. Instead, you feel that calm, that focus, that ability to move forward because you're resisting those impulses and then you're able to better tolerate what's going on because you've calmed yourself and you've seen what the reality is and you understand the problem and then you can move forward. And you know what that takes? It takes a lot of patience. And so the things that you can really work on to help you get to clarity are the problem solving, the reality testing, and the impulse control. And how you lead yourself in those things, how you develop those muscles, are going to serve you well in every decision that you're making. And decision making is the core thing. It is the top reason that you don't move forward with clarity because you just can't make a decision that supports you, supports your goals, supports your vision. And so that's That's the thing to work on. And you know what? If you need some help working on that, guess what? I'm happy to help. This is one of the things that I coach people on all day, every day, is how to manage your decision making skills so that you can decide things to move yourself forward. And I'm just going to be really honest this morning. I woke up and I was feeling anything but excited about coming and doing this live today because I've had some things going on in my life this week where I was feeling kind of discouraged, just with some things with my daughter and my own health and um, a couple of things in the business as well, where I was just feeling discouraged. I just had this overwhelming feeling of discouragement. And I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to let that discouragement define me. I reality tested some of the stories I was making up around the situations going on and began to see the problem more clearly. So then was able to move forward and resist the impulse to say, I'm just going to blow off the live today. But instead, I'm going to choose to use the live to not only help myself, but hopefully help others. And so I hope that this will encourage you in your decision making so that you can move forward with clarity in the things that hold you back. Lashana says, give me 5 minutes, just leave me alone, and I'll totally forget all about it. I love it. I wish I were that way. I kind of have to go, blah, either to myself, to my husband, to someone. I got to let it go, and then I can move on. But a lot of the times it is all about the reality testing and what's really going on and what's the crazy story that the brain is making up to go with it. Because once you identify that, it often gives you the clarity you need to move forward. So that is our training for today. Thanks, Lashana, for showing up. You're always so kind to do so. And I really hope that others who watch this recording, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to reach out. Please feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you. All right, Lashana, have a beautiful, beautiful day and rest of your week. And everyone else, too, you know where to find me if you need me. Take care. Bye.